Am I the a-hole for kicking my BF and his daughter out because of how his daughter acts when she's on her period? My BF of 2 years has an 11-years-old daughter that just started her first ever menstrual cycle 3 days ago. He has full custody of her and they started making transitions to move in with me and my 8-years-old son about 2 weeks ago. Up until this point, everything was going fairly well. The kids got along and I thought Diane was a nice enough kid. Anyways, she walks out of her bedroom 3 days ago and tells me she thinks she started her period and was asking me the general questions on how to wear a pad, what she can/can't do, etc. All is well. I let her stay home from school after calling my BF at work to confirm plans and give him the rundown. She was crampy. I work from home so it was no issue. All day she interrupted my business calls to talk about her period. It was annoying but I just dealt with it because it's her first menstrual so obviously there's going to be a lot of questions. This wasn't even the problem, it was what followed it. She was in a great mood all day. But as soon as my BF and my son got home from work, my home turned into a war zone. My son asked if she wanted to play with him and she screamed in his face, "I'm on my period," and literally slammed him out of her doorway. He went flying, hit the wall, bruised his shoulder and hit his head off the door frame. My BF went to talk to her and she starts crying. "I'm on my period, I don't want him near me." He gave her a pass for her behavior, which already pissed me off. The next day we planned a beach day, like a week ago planned it. Diane starts flipping out to a point of a full tantrum, screaming at me and my BF telling us that no, we would not still be going to the beach because she's on her period and she can't swim, and since she can't, none of us can and she doesn't care if that bothers us. My BF cancels the trip, or tried. I told him I was still bringing my kid regardless. We get back home at 3 p.m. When I left, I had a pot of chili in the slow cooker for dinner. I find half the pot gone. Diane had been eating out of the slow cooker. My BF told me that Diane said the only thing she wanted was chili and that since she was on her period, he had to let her. He listened to her. There wasn't enough to feed everyone now. We send the kids to bed at 8 p.m. She comes out at 9, telling her father that she needed ice cream or she was going to snap. He originally said no. She starts tweaking out, crying, screaming. Wakes up my son. He ends up going and getting her the effin' ice cream instead of being a parent and snipping that shit in the bud. Then this morning, my BF tells her she can stay home from school again because she's still on her period. I tell him no. I'm working today and she interrupted me all day on my last workday. She starts flipping out, screaming at me that I'm not doing anything to make her comfortable when that's what she needs right now. My BF sides with her. It's her first period, we need to learn to navigate it. I told him again that she was not staying here today. He gets angry with me and says I'm making his life harder than it has to be. His kid is still screaming at me. So, I snapped and told them to pack all their shit and leave and that I was effing done. Said that I'm glad she started her period so soon into moving in so that I could get a proper assessment of how it would be full-time and I would be damned I put up with this bullshit every month. They both immediately calmed down. She starts crying, saying she was just trying to make me understand. He's telling me I'm being ridiculous. I stood firm however and told them to get out. They are now gone and my house is peaceful. I don't want them back here. My BF has been blowing my phone up since, telling me this is just a bump in the road, but I have never been so disgusted by anyone in my entire life. Am I the a-hole for not letting them return and telling him I'm done? I did speak to her about her aggression yesterday. I told her it wasn't okay to put her hands on people, to scream in my face, to demand we cater to her and break things. She says, I'm on my period. Nothing I do right now can be held against me because I have no control. Which is enough to prove to me that she does have control. She's using this as an excuse.